Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another kick-ass live stream. Today, I'll be joined by Alpha Villains, and soon Afi Kingdom will be coming in the house here. And we're going to talk about inner game tips that will help you attract women. Yes, that I said it. Inner game tips that will help you attract women because you got to have good inner game if you want to attract women. If you're thinking it's just going to be all about looks, money, muscle, and shit, do you have a low self-image of yourself and don't think highly of yourself and don't think you have like the confidence to actually attract women, you ain't gonna make that shit happen. So that's what we're here today to talk to you guys about.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me on once again. How's my sound? Am I okay? You can hear
Yeah,
me?
you're okay.
Okay,
How's my
perfect.
sound? Am I okay? I'm not echoing at all, am I?
No, you sound good as well, man.
Okay, good.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on once again, man. This is an excellent topic. I think that you and Afi and myself can really give some fresh perspective on inner game. We talk about game a lot, especially in these spaces. Game to the naked eye usually consists of six pack abs, being tall, having a nice car, having clout, etc. And those are just surface level. But when we talk about long term, meaningful relationships, when we talk about really getting to know somebody or having somebody get to know you, it's all about inner game, guys. You know what I mean? What happens when you lose a limb? What happens when you get injured? You can't work out. What happens if you go bankrupt? You get your credit gets fucked up. At the end of the day, um, anything meaningful has to come from within. And today we're going to talk about that inner game, how some of the things that you can kind of do to ignite that inner game. And because everyone's got inner game, it's just a matter of knowing who you are, the direction you want to take, and putting work into kind of unleashing that
Hmm.
beast.
Right. No, and it's good to have an awareness, kind of build your inner game because I think, when you have inner game, you're aware of why it is you aren't successful with women and you'll
Right.
figure out how to make that shit happen. I think a lot of guys, they kind of, when they want to get into this space, they want to know that one word that's going to make her wet there, or make her drool all over you. They
Right.
don't think about focusing on themselves too. I mean, and I think that's really important to have an understanding of who you are and kind of realize, some of the things that might be holding you back from having success with women. Because, like, when you can figure out, when you have that awareness, you can figure out why, you can work on that. And then, even though, if you can just tolerate the process of working on yourself, then you're going to go out there and make shit happen for yourself, regardless of what you said earlier, having this and that, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And it's interesting, the whole inner game thing, man. For me, I didn't know, getting involved in these spaces, man, you learn about different vocabulary words, different talking points, acronyms, etc. And to me, game was more so it was always inner. It wasn't things that you had, the accessories that you had. I always knew that the accessories helped, and I always felt like sometimes the guys take the I feel like all the external things that guys gravitate towards is a cheat code and an easy way out to facilitate finding somebody that's going to be a good match for you, right? So at the end of the day, if you don't focus, I kind of stumbled on inner game by accident because I'm not necessarily the tallest. I'm 5'10". Yeah, I'm fairly good looking. My body's okay. But at the end of the day, and I'm not balling out of control with money. But at the same time, even though may not have all these things that women claim they want, I'm doing okay in the woman's department. You know what I mean? I'm not
Hmm.
really hurting in that regard. So it just goes to show you guys that yes, sure, sometimes we have genes, we're born a certain way, and sometimes you can improve on some of the things that you were not born with. But at the end of the day, you have to understand, and I can't stress this enough, your mindset, how you see yourself, how much work are you willing to put into yourself. Those are all facets of inner game because at the end of the day, sure, you can lose things that you buy, you can lose things that people, one day they love you, one day they don't. But at the end of the day, you can't lose your mind. If you're constantly working on your mind and your inner game, that's something that nobody can take away from you. It's kind of like a memory. If you have good memories, nobody can take that away from you. Those are your memories. So anything that involves working on yourself internally and coming out outward is definitely a good definition of inner game.
Hmm. Right, exactly. And like that, it's a good thing that I think when you go out there and you're actually, taking the motions towards becoming successful, it's good to have aware, like I was talking about earlier, of some of the habits and mindsets that you are projecting into the real world, because I think that can really affect the outcome of the situation that you have.
Sure.
Like the way you think about yourself when it comes to women is going to affect how you interact with women. If you don't think that you are a confident guy, that you can attract women, then when you go out there and at least try to do it, you're going to act that way. If you don't think you can create this life for yourself, and you go out there and make it, you're gonna do everything half-assed, and it's not gonna be 100%.
Very important what you just said. Half-assed, half cocked. You got one foot in, one foot out. If you're doing, you're never going to be able to be all the way in or dedicate yourself entirely into anything if you don't have your inner game and your mindset right. Right. So at the end of the day, people see what happens is too, guys, when you lead with your wallet, we talk about this a lot, lead with your wallet, you show off your trinkets, etc. That is something that has to be consistently displayed in order to get that same energy from that woman. So if you really set the bar really high on the first couple of dates, the woman has become accustomed to that type of treatment. So
Mhm.
what happens if you guys get into a fight? She starts to behave or misbehave, or maybe you're having a slow week and maybe you have some other obligations that you can't take her out that time. This is when there's going to be some type of shift in her behavior. And as a result of that, because you want to keep that same energy, you're going to be scrambling, doing all types of dumb shit to try to compensate for the fact that even though you might be stressed out or you're tapped out, just to keep that energy consistent. And this is why it is extremely important for you to understand part of inner game too, guys, is knowing your self-worth. Knowing your self-worth. You have to appraise yourself. You can't allow women to appraise you. You can't let society to praise you. You can't even allow dating coaches or people that you listen to on YouTube to appraise you. You have to be open to feedback, but you have to assess yourself first. And once you assess yourself, then you say, okay, then maybe I can hire Rob or Afi, or I can invest in a coach. But before you do that, you have to make an assessment of yourself. Are you a fucking loser? If you are, okay, then I got to put in some work. If I'm not that bad because a dating coach told me to do something else and I do it this way, but it brings me fulfillment, then you've assessed yourself. You're not allowing anybody else to tell you who you are. And that's part of inner game. That inner confidence about doing something and not giving a damn what people think. That's the key, one of the keys to inner game, bro. Because at the end of the day, I know what I need to make me feel fulfilled. And I don't care who says what or what girl says what. I'm gonna go after what I want so I can get feel that way.
Mhm. Right. No, I hear you. Yeah, and you can't let the things in, external world affect you. I mean, I actually, I had a couple dates I went out on recently, and I thought they went really well and everything. And at the end of the date, I'm like, okay, I'm probably going to see this girl again. And then, sure enough, a couple days later, they don't want to talk to me. But I didn't let. I had like maybe two girls say that, but you know what? I didn't let that stop me. I still pushed forward, and I had a great day last night, and I sealed the deal. If you know what I mean. So
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, you
That's
just
awesome.
can't like. But before, I remember when I didn't think too highly of myself, I used to let that bother me. Like, I'd be like, okay, what the fuck happened, And I just, yeah, sure, it was a bit frustrating, a bit, but I let go of it. But I used to just hold on to that, I'm just like, okay. And I said to myself, I'd be like, shit, like, what the fuck is wrong here? What am I doing wrong? Like,
Yeah.
and it's good to maybe assess the situation, but yeah, I used to like look too deep into that, and I used to like just carry that. I would not let go of that situation.
Let me ask you this. Do you think your awareness of yourself, Rob, and the fact that the importance of inner game helped you deal with the inevitable frustrations? We can do everything bright, we can be confident, we can do everything that we tell you guys to do, but sometimes your best isn't always going to be good enough. Do you think your inner game and your self-awareness kind of helped you recover, I guess, if you will, from the frustrations that will happen to the best of us?
Right, exactly. Yeah, it does. I mean, I just think like when you kind of look into a situation and you don't like take it, even though things don't go 100% your way in life,
Right.
and you don't, like you mentioned earlier, if you don't like really take it too seriously and let it define who you are, I mean, you're going to be fine. You just got to look at it. You got to be, more optimistic and take everything as a learning experience. and apply it. You do things differently next time rather than look at it as like a losing, like a situation that made you feel like a loser. You know what I'm talking about? So it's just like having a different perspective on things, just being optimistic that things will eventually work out, and that's sometimes that can be tough because you really got to push through all that negativity and shit. But I mean, it's weird whenever I have gotten negative or thought negatively about something, things have always turned out for the good. And I have the habit just because I'm a creative individual. Like I have an imagination. My imagination is good, but also my imagination can be a bad thing too. So I have to learn to be aware of that. Well, hey, I know I have an overactive imagination, and I have to like just be able to kind of deal with that when that arises.
Yeah, you said something very important. I think optimism. Optimism is very something that's very important. Optimism allows you to get up and go. Optimism allows you to get back up after you've fallen down. But in order to be optimistic, again, it all goes back to understanding your purpose and understanding your mission and understanding what is the importance of optimism. Right? If
Hmm.
you have a plan and you have a mission and you have some a goal that you're striving for, and you're working on your inner game, you're working on your mindset, it's easier to be optimistic because you know what's waiting for you after you achieve that goal. So I think part of inner game as well is identifying the right goals for you to set. So that way, the goals that you think are important will pale in comparison until you get that. So, for instance, like if you're working on certain things that you know are ultimately important that will supersede any type of female interaction, when you achieve those goals, not only is it building your confidence, but it's allowing you to be optimistic about the things that you do in pursuit of your goals. Now when you start achieving your goals, you got some new energy, then you start to realize that women will start to gravitate towards you. So this is very important. When you focus on the right things that are going to be beneficial for you, all the other things that you think you need to do will automatically fall into place. And when you start to get consistent wins as a result of calculated decisions, calculated moves, that's attributed to your inner game. Right. So if I know what I need to do, if I want to lose weight, I know the type of diet I need to wait to eat or ingest in order to achieve a goal. I'm optimistic because I'm starting to see results. People are starting to notice. And then now ultimately I'm getting the girls because now they're seeing that I'm getting a little bit more jacked. Again, everything that we're talking about right now is all about strategy, and it begins with you. When you identify that your inner game has to reflect your outer, that's when it's going to be something important. It's kind of like you are what you eat, right? You are what you eat. So we are the sum of the people that we associate with. We are a reflection of some of the things that we ingest, we listen to, we watch, etc. It's like if you see girls, they watch a lot of reality TV. They're on TikTok. They're gravitating towards a lot of delusional things. So what it's only natural for delusional and dumb shit to come out of their fucking mouths because that's all they're ingesting.
Hmm.
So if we listen to the dumb shit, then you start to believe it. But if you really have some inner game and understand yourself, you understand that what they're saying and how they're behaving is a reflection of their environment. Part of inner game is really disassociating yourself from that toxic behavior, all that negativity. So you can be around people who are like-minded, who want better for themselves, so you can aspire to be like them and vice versa. And then everything else will fall into place.
Hmm. No, and I agree. That's important. That's important. Just that you want to be around like-minded people, like who you hang out with, going to affect your attitude and behaviors and everything. That's one of the things that I've always, you know, look into. Not even with the girls I meet too. I don't want to hang out with a negative girl. You
Yeah.
know, and so I just like to surround myself with positive people and be in like a positive environment because that's gonna like help motivate me to move forward and like being around those people and have those people encourage you and everything. It's gonna just be great. And so no, it's definitely good. I mean, you want to maintain a positive self-image, and in order to do that, like I said, you got to be around the right people, because you're around people who have a negative self-image and they talk negative about women all the time, then you're going to start thinking negative about women. Or if they talk about, well, women are like this and like that, then you're going to believe that. And then when you want to go out there and actually talk to women, you're going to you're going to make those judgments that those people have, those negative judgments, I should say, that people head. And that's going to affect the outcome of your game and the confidence when you go out there and show squats to women.
Yes, very important what you just said. Judgment, positive outlooks. You know what I'm saying? It's about being around people that are going to hold you accountable. Now, not everyone is fortunate, Rob. You know, good help is hard to find. Not everyone is able to find like-minded men. I mean, especially in these communities, I find that in my local, area code or zip codes and shit, very few men can identify or understand the talking points that I usually say on my show or we have conversations, because a lot of them are really programmed. A lot of them feel like these are things that shouldn't be said, even though they're true. So it's very difficult to find like-minded men. But if you are not fortunate to find a tribe, if you will, this is where inner game will be the most beneficial for you. Because if you have inner game, all of the things that you would normally get from a team or a tribe, you're actually working on and holding yourself accountable yourself, right? So you were born alone, you're going to die alone. Some of us we've become great friends and we've become colleagues because we've met online, but not everyone is as fortunate. So at the end of the day, guys, when you talk about doing the work and putting the work into yourself, it's all about really understanding what mark you want to make in this world. Now, we're talking about dating 2023 and how this makes you very attractive. This makes you very attractive because at the end of the day, it's very easy to stand out when you're working on your inner game versus your outer. Now, we're not saying you shouldn't reward yourself. We're not saying you shouldn't go to the gym and buy nice things. But what we're saying is there is a time and place for everything. Let's say, for instance, you work on your body game, you get a lot of money, but you still don't have that inner game. What usually happens? What usually happens is, yeah, you can get the girl, but can you keep the girl? That's the shit. And then you start to wonder, we call them Pookies and Chads and all that shit, where the guys are really good looking or they're not that good looking, but they're losers, their credit's bad, they don't have the shit that you have, but they wind up banging your girl. Why is that? Because they understand the importance of their mindset. They understand the importance of their mouthpiece. They understand that even though they may not have the luxury car that you have, they can get your girl because they know her language and they understand themselves. So this is why, again, you guys want to take the easy way out? Sure, you'll get the girl, but can you keep the girl? And when you start to get older and shit, you'll start to look for more meaningful relationships. Even if I'm not, even if you don't settle down with them, even for me, like if I'm dating a girl, I even want the girls that I date, their interaction to be meaningful, because I don't really have time for the dumb shit, Rob. I'm older, as you know. So it's all about meaningful shit for me, because, life speeds by, and for me, I'd rather have some meaningful interactions with people as opposed to just the slam bam thank you man, because I don't really get anything out of that, and it takes away from my energy and focus towards myself.
We got Alfie bet in the house now.
Yo.
What's up, my man? I'm can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
I'm live from the streets. How are you guys doing?
We good.
You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you very good, man. Yeah. Welcome to the show, Alfie.
Good. Here, y'all just talk for a minute so I can just catch the vibe real quick, and I jump right in. Or unless you just want to start me with a question real quick, because I just clicked in. I wasn't listening to the show first.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, continue on, Alpha Villain. Just jump in whenever.
Now we were just talking. Yeah, we're just talking about inner game, man. The importance of inner game and why it's important and how attractive, or it can be perceived as attractive, when you're working on yourself as opposed to surface level game. I mean, because guys have a hard time believing that. Like, you mean to tell me I don't have to have 6-pack abs or all this shit to really get into a woman's mindset? So we're just trying to break it down. Why working on your inner game is the most important thing that you can do as a man.
Yeah, that's a good segue, because matter of fact, Rob, the inner game is the confidence, right? And so guess what? You don't know this. I didn't got inspired to write a confidence book, so you're gonna do the 4 for that, Mr. Command Your Confidence.
Oh, awesome,
so I need you to whip that out. I ain't even got the name down pat, but I need you to whip that up for me. Whip that up, so that way you can be published in 2 books and not just 1. You see that?
Yeah, there you go, buddy. Yeah, just I will work on that this week. That's gonna be awesome. Thank you, Alfie.
There you go. Look at that. Look at that. You didn't expect that now. Now you expect that. Look, you wanted to roast me so bad about being late. Now look at that. So now we multi, but it's hard. But the brief, but so boom. So the thing is this, man. Like, um, people see this is okay. It's like this. People are so spoiled by what they see on TV that they think they get it like it's on TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see, it's like watching Rocky 4 without watching the training montages first. You feel me?
Right.
You feel me? You just watch the fight. You don't know the struggle. You don't know what the climbing up the mountains and doing all of that. You missed all of that part. Because the thing is, Rob, is we all have inner game, but nobody speaks on inner game because everybody's so focused on sex. They want to talk about how many women they get in, but they don't talk about the process that they went through to get them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm what you call a natural, but at the same time, what did I do? Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I studied the game first. I studied the game before I even had sex, bro.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a virgin, I had a full understanding of what women were and how they moved. And the thing about that is we all get the same opportunity, right? So for instance, for me, I watched my mom and my sister and how they move, right? I'm not the only person who lived with women, but see, y'all was living with women playing with toys. I was women that wanted to living with women listening like, what's this? What did they respond? I don't know. It was weird. I'm a different type of cat, but that human behavior is very interesting to me. So the inner game, man, like it comes from success. But the problem is people think that you can only get success with women by having success with women, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
See, the confidence can come from anywhere, bro.
Right. Exactly.
It can come from anywhere. I don't have to sleep with 50 women to have confidence enough to cold approach a woman. You see how that works? You see, I could be a virgin, right? But I could be a checker at a Safeway. You see? So I'm a virgin at Safeway. So guess what that means, though? That means that if I'm a checker, I'm talking to people all day. So that means I can talk to a woman all day too, because I have hot chicks that come up to the register that I have to talk to because I get paid. What I'm gonna do? Say, oh yeah, you know what? Why you didn't ring that girl up, Afi? Because she was so hot, I couldn't focus. No, I'm gonna ring her up because I get paid. So you can take your confidence from wherever you want and use it to however you want.
Right. No, that's true. Well,
that's my monologue introduction. I'm here.
You mentioned a really good point here. No, like I think a lot of people, like they see people like us, and they see us, we talk about like the successes we have with women in other areas of their life, but they fail to see like we had to go through the struggle to build that confidence. They think, well, they're like, oh, look at this guy, he knows it all, and like we're teaching these guys how to go out there and talk to women or build like a life for themselves. But sometimes they get intimidated because when they first go out there and do it, like things don't happen according to the plan, and they got to realize that the whole thing is like a learning process. You're not going to be perfect, person. You're going to build your inner game as you're going out there and you're taking the actions in life. Like I remember when I first, started to go talk to women in public places. I sucked, but I learned how to have an interaction. I learned how to close. I learned how to set up a date. Like my dating life has improved so much, like over the past 6 years, from where it was like a long time ago. But that was a learning process too. I have a lot of wins and a lot of failures, but I don't let the failures keep me from like moving forward. I move forward regardless, and you got to have that attitude. And when you have that attitude, you kick ass.
Let me add this too, Rob, real quick. Cause I said this recently. Now, a lot of people, I said this on one of my morning streams, so maybe nobody didn't hear me say this on the upload, but it's the truth, bro. Because I always tell people that, man, I smash more women than you, but that's just my witty personality, even though most likely it's true. But at the same time, like I just like trolling the other content creators because I know they don't be doing shit, bro. To be honest with you, I know they computer gay, just like gangsters know. Put it like this: just like gangsters know fake gangsters, players know keyboard gay. We know keyboard players. We can tell, bro. So I like trolling them. I like trolling them. I got more game than you, and I do more shit than you. See, I got you on both. So, but what I said was basically is, so I don't even gotta throw my body count around there. Yeah, sufficient. But the point is I didn't learn, for the most part, of smashing women about women. I learned from fucking up because I learned what not to do. Like, oh, that shit don't work. The first time I paid for a woman's date and she didn't appreciate it, I said, I'm not taking no woman on no more first dates. It only took me once. Now I will not.
Mm.
Now let me say, I'll take no. Let me say this. Let me change the word. I'll take a woman on the first date, but what I'm saying is I won't leave like with the first date. Y'all feel me? Like how you
Mhm.
can like okay, so now like I'll meet a girl and we'll talk, and then if I'm still interested, I may say come with me somewhere, or or take her for drinks or some shit like that. But I'm saying before that, I would just do it as in like, okay, this is the next step. Like, okay, I got your number, so the next step is the date. So I would lead with the date. Like, so we talking on the phone. Hey, what are you doing tomorrow? Before I even like talk to her and catch her vibe and shit like that. But I remember that time we were eating sushi. Uh, matter of fact, it was her idea. That's why I was pissed because I was kind of like, how you gonna invite me to do something and then want me to pay? And I was offended. So we ordered our sushi and stuff. And then I was gonna pay for it anyway. But the
Mhm.
way she took her step back, I was like, oh hell no, bro. Like wait. Like she just kind of like said her stuff and then she just kind of stepped away, like, okay, handle that. I didn't like the way that made me feel. Like I'm not your Mr. Butler. Like
Mhm.
I'm not responsible for your survival. And if you got something in your tummy, fuck all of that. So from then, I stopped doing it. But then it's just like I learned just from dealing with women. Like so my body count is relevant, but I've literally dealt with thousands with an S of women. I'm not talking about smash, just me, kick it with a girl twice, don't smash. Me talk to a girl for a week, don't hang out with her. That's where the learning shit comes from. The
Mhm.
Right.
experience, bro. Not me sticking my dick up in a woman how many times and then however many strokes I got. That's how many fucking experience points. That's just what I'm talking about, Rob. This is the type of shit that they talk about on YouTube and shit, and the shit don't matter, bro. Like
Right.
if I had sex with 166 chicks and AV had a sick an AV had a and AV had sex with 169 chicks. Does that mean he knows more than me because he has two more bodies than me? You see how stupid that shit fucking sounds?
Mm.
Mhm.
That's
Right.
just
Very
stupid.
important.
You feel me?
Yes, very
Yeah.
important what you said, man, because I understand exactly what you did there. As usual, when Afi talked about his body count, that was to illustrate a point, right? To illustrate the point. The fact that he has a high body count is irrelevant in this context, but even though it is relatively high, but at the same time, it doesn't matter in terms of the comparison. If it's 166 to 169, and what did he say? It's not about whether he smashed more women than you or not. It's more about the experience. And how do you get the experience? You go out there, you try to learn from every interaction with a man, a woman, at work, etc. You learn, and helps develop your inner game. So that way, when you do have an experience and you meet somebody, you can apply what you've learned towards the woman, because at the end of the day, more than likely, you guys aren't going to reach Afi Kingdom's body count, whatever that may be. But you shouldn't focus on that. You should really focus on developing yourself and learning from every experience you have, so that way your particular inner game can be applicable to any situation that you encounter moving forward.
Right.
But AV, I feel
Talk to me.
like your body count got to be more than 10 if you want to yell at niggas though, bro. That's the only part.
Facts. That's a fact. That's a whole fact. You don't get me started. Yeah, it's early.
Hey, look, Rob, you got me on here. Yeah, I'm gonna tear your shit up today. Cause look, check
Okay,
this out.
well,
Like,
rock and
boom.
roll, man.
Like, look at this. So it's the same thing like this. So the game is school, right? So guess what? How many niggas or how many niggas that are in the same class as you at the same time during the same days but don't get the same grade?
Mm. See,
But y'all in the same place with
you
the
guys,
same teachers and the same.
you
There
see
it
what he
is,
just said. Go
boy.
ahead, unpack that, bro. Unpack that.
Yeah,
Teach.
that was
Yeah,
really good.
we got all the same stuff. It's like me taking you to the movies, and I remember 50 parts, and you remember two parts, but we had the same exposure. You see, so it's not about the information that you see. It's the information. It's about the information that you see and you apply and do something with. That's what it's
Mhm.
I see.
about, bro.
Right. You know, I was going to say, like most guys, they'll absorb the information, but they won't do shit about it. They feel like they can watch some videos or on YouTube, work with the coach and everything, and a coach can tell them what to do. But if you're not going out there and taking the necessary action, you're not going to be learning anything. You're not going to build yourself, your inner game, whatever you want to call it. And like I think one of the most important things to building your inner game is to like do stuff that you're afraid of doing. Because I think when you say you have a fear of talking to like hotter women because you think that they don't like you, like I think you should just go out there and act upon that, because when you go out there and act upon it, you're conquering a belief that you have about yourself. I mean, it might not even work out the way you want it, but the fact that you went out there and you took the action, you can say, well, hey, I did it and it wasn't that bad like I thought it was. And the same with anything else. So I think, you know, this one, and I did a short about this a while ago, and it's just like, if you want to grow as far as like your inner game and become more confident, you got to do stuff that you fear the most. So it looks like we lost off you there for a moment.
Did we?
Yeah, he'll probably come back on in a bit. Oh, he's coming back on right now.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So add the stream. Okay, Afi, you are back on. Okay, you got disconnected there for a moment.
Yeah, I was trying to turn my camera on and I actually buzzed out.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah, man. So just like all of this, like how come in the space in the data space we all watching the same videos, but some of us can do it and some of us can't? Why is that?
Well, because like some people act upon it, other people don't act upon it. That's the thing.
Mm.
Like, and that's what I was just telling Alpha Villains here when you got disconnected. Like, a lot of us like just absorb stuff and not go out there and act upon it. And you have to go out and act upon what you have learned, especially from a mentor, because that's how you're gonna, get those, again, you were talking about experiences and everything. That's how you get those experiences and learning experience when you go out there. And like I said, even if it doesn't go perfect, you just try to fine tune and figure out what the hell you can do better next time. Or like if something went well, figure out, okay, this process worked well for me. How, maybe this is good to repeat. But if you don't go out there and actually take the actions from the shit that you're learning, like you're not going to grow.
And check this out, Rob. Let me make another important point. It's very imperative. Is this? I'm gonna tell you a secret why you get more cheeks now too. You don't even know it. You think it's because of something else. Let me tell you a secret. And I'm gonna tell you a secret. Or I'm gonna tell two secrets why you getting it and why they not getting it. You see, you get more booty because you talk to guys that get a lot of booty. See, that's energy, right? You
That's
see,
true.
it's congregating. It's like being a pimp in the barber shop. You see what I'm saying? You pick up on shit. So a lot of these guys in these spaces, right? They try to learn game and they're fucking virgins and shit, and they try to learn how to get ass, hanging out with 500 people who can't get ass too.
Mm-hmm.
See?
We were
That's
So
just
you
talking
that's
so,
about
a good
this.
point, because we were talking before you got in. I think Alpha Villains made a reference
Yes.
to this. Like you want to surround yourself with people who are actually becoming successful and we were talking about mindsets and
Right.
everything, and Afi just made another good point. You're going to hang out with people who are virgins and you're trying to get laid. It's not going to work, because those people probably are not going about it the right way. They probably have a negative attitude about women. They have a negative attitude about themselves and their mindset. So that's keeping them from having the success. So yeah, you definitely want to surround yourself with the right people. That's important with anything, because I believe once you do that, that energy kind of emanates onto that other person, and that's
yeah,
how
people don't
you learn
understand
from
that,
that
bro.
person.
That's just like if you want to learn real estate, what the fuck should you do? Hang around real estate people so you can learn the language. You
Right.
see, they make this shit so goddamn hard and shit. Yeah, I just man, people
Yeah.
just I don't know.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
To piggyback on what you just said, very important. I think and you and I talk about this a lot. When we're talking about, see, this is the problem. Guys don't understand what game is, and what game is going to vary depending on the person, right? So this is where the inner game, this is the importance of the inner game, because if I have inner game, I've already identified what game means to me, and then I am going to associate myself with people who are like-minded, who have similar goals or aspirations or interpretation of what game is. So when Afi says, how come we can all have access to this information? It's free content. We could all be in the class. Some of us get bad grades, some of us don't, some of us don't get late, some of us do, because we all have a certain identity that we've created, and we are going to apply the bits and pieces of the goddamn shit that we hear that's going to work for our identity. This is what I'm talking about. So if you think game is a Lamborghini and traveling on yachts and shit, and you make $35,000 a year, but yet you keep supporting those people, you're doing a disservice to yourself, because you're not supporting the people who are more than likely going to take you to where you need to go. So at the end of the day, it's all about inner game. Inner game means customizing something or becoming something that you want to become by applying some of the things that you hear that are going to work for who you want to be.
Right. I like that. That's very well said.
Yeah,
That's true.
just like this, like, and I had just did an impromptu live last night. It was just a Q&A, and I took it off. But the whole thing is, I was just talking to a couple people in there that I knew and stuff, and I was just showing off my belts. Now the reason why I brought that up is because of this, right? So boom, because it's one thing that I said last night is, and actually I messed up. I said November, but I was in Japan in November, so it was when I came back in December. So I just showed off my belt. I'm up to like 13 titles. But the whole thing is,
Oh,
I said,
wow.
yeah. But the thing is there's guys on YouTube. I'm in the wrestling community too, because I watch wrestling shit. And so I watch these guys, they reveal all these belts. So these guys be having the same shit as me. They be collecting these shits for 5 years. So I'm like, damn, bro, I'm already on y'all, and I only been catching December, January, February. So the whole point is when I am into something. So now it's not just so this is what I'm saying. The advantage that I have over most of you squares is, see, you niggas are addicted to pussy. I'm addicted to information.
Right.
You see the difference? So even with the wrestling shit, if I'm gonna be a collector, I'm gonna take it seriously. See, it don't got nothing to do with booty. It's about what you like. You take it seriously, and then you get results.
Right.
You see, just like that. What you put your effort and energy towards is what's gonna grow. You know what I'm saying? So if I want to be a collector, then I'm not gonna be buying shit once a fucking year. Because guess what? That's not collecting. That's just buying shit.
Right.
Collecting is having versions of things and things that matter and things of reason, and you know what I mean. So it's just all across the board. It doesn't just have to do with that. You know what I'm saying? My inner game is strong because I know that I'm good at hella shit, not just bagging women, bro. So that's where my shit comes from.
You know
You know
what's
what I'm saying?
important?
I can bag your woman, I can roast your woman, I can charm your woman, I can fuck your woman, I can ice your woman. So you could just fuck your woman. See, it's different. I can call her a B word and tell her I love her in the same 5 minutes, bro. You know what I'm saying? And mean both for what I say.
Right. Yeah, I think a lot of guys lack the why. They don't know why they need game. They don't know why game is important. They don't know why it needs to be inner. So like what Afi just said, when it's not a fanatical thing, it's more in line with what he's doing, right? He's got a wrestling channel. He has aspirations to write for WWE or WWF, whichever one. So as a result of the congruency and his passion, he's collecting things to kind of add to his passion. See, a lot of you guys don't have passion. You guys don't know why. So when you look at a girl, you want to bang her out for pussy. But what Afi just said, it's not for booty. It's more so because of his passion and his inner understanding of what he likes. Now, doing all those things, don't you think that that's pretty cool? Don't you think that a lot of people are going to appreciate that? It's women especially. It's not something that's corny. This is something that's in line. It's not like he's playing softball every goddamn Sunday to like relive a childhood dream. These are things that are in line with what he's doing. And no knock to the guys who do that. But what I'm saying is there's a bigger purpose out there than women. There's bigger purpose out there than sex. And when you understand that and you put things in priorities, you'll start to see that the fulfillment that you're looking for, once you start to fulfill yourself and fill your own cup, it's going to be easier to share, or it's going to be easier for people to gravitate towards you because they're going to want to get the same energy that you're creating for yourself, not relying on another woman to create it for you. And that comes from inside, bro. It doesn't come from outside.
Right. No, that's
And,
important.
and a lot of it's how Cats was raised too. But the thing is people don't know how to fish for themselves. So people are victims of their circumstances and casuals of the circumstances. But you
Right.
gotta like, it's like Red Dawn. Have you ever seen Red Dawn?
Oh, that's old school. Which one, the original
I
or
Yeah,
have
the
not.
remake?
no, the original. I haven't even
Yeah,
seen the
with
new
Patrick
one. The
Swayze.
original with Patrick Swayze, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah, just like that. Like
that was
them,
the shit.
they was just chilling in school, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, man, I remember that first
That
scene
siren.
used to
That
blow my
siren.
mind, bro.
Yeah.
Di- no, when they was just coming down from the parachutes and everybody's like, "What the fuck going on?" And then they just start
Right.
capping everybody. Like, so
Yeah.
what
That
I'm
shit was
saying is,
scary.
you see, some of those cats just got capped.
Right.
They just got capped. Like, oh, they're soldiers. We don't have a chance. We're dead. But then that little small group was like, Wolverines. Like, we ain't going for that shit.
Right.
You see?
Right. That was dope. That was a classic.
Right.
You see, just like that. You see, I could just peel analogies out of movies that ain't got nothing to do with hoes. That's what I'm saying right there.
Yeah, there you go. That's the creativity right there. No, but you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned something about circumstances. Like I think
Am I making
we have
hub
the
and shit?
ability to
Goddamn.
create those circumstances. You don't have to
I'm looking
let
like
the
AV today, baby. Look at
yeah,
that.
right.
Look
He's
at
all
that.
pumped up.
Let's
Good
go.
coffee, got his protein bar and his coffee
Let's
going today.
go.
Like
Yeah.
rocking and rolling.
Let's go.
No,
What were you
but
saying, Rob? You were about to
no,
say
I was
something.
just saying those. We're talking. You mentioned something about circumstances, like people fall victim to the circumstance. I believe you can fucking go out there. You can create the life for you want. You don't let things. You can't let the past that you're born into, what's going on in your life, your external sources define your conditions. You can actually go out there and create that for yourself rather than sit around and whine about it all day. If you want to go make something happen, you will take the necessary action to like fucking go out there and like kick ass in life. But if so you have that choice to, say, well, hey, I'm not going to let this, affect where my situation. I'm going to go out there and make this. You know what I'm saying? We all have that choice. A lot of us have a hard time,
Mm.
taking that. Like, say for instance, like, I always was like at the mindset, well, hey, I'm not making a lot of money. I'm not, I'm not, having this. I don't have a house, so that means I'm not going to go. Women won't be attracted to me. It was weird because growing up, my dad always said you needed to have good money. You had to have, you know, nice car and shit, and that's when the women would come. But I realized, like, you don't even need that. Like, it's so weird how when you can learn to shift your mindset on shit, like, and actually go out there and try shit, you'll realize that things aren't as bad as they seem. And you like, it may be tough at first, but you'll go out there and make it happen. You can create the life that you want for yourself. You
I
don't
love what
have
you
to be
said.
stuck where you're at.
Absolutely, and I love what you said about choices. We all have choices. We all have access. I'm gonna go back to that school analogy because that was excellent. How can we all study for the same tests and have the same curriculum and us not do well on the test because some of us decided to study, some of us decided to take it seriously, some of us decided to do the work. See, it all goes boils down to your choices. Not all of us were born with a silver spoon. Sometimes the cards that we were dealt until we play that hand, that's the only way you're going to get a new hand. But because you're too busy looking at the goddamn cards, because you're short, you're fat, you were poor, etc., you're ugly, you're not willing to play the hand because you don't think anybody wants to play with you. At the end of the day, it's all about your choices. So if you decide to stay fat, a loser, pussyless, that's your choice. If you decide to put in the work, that's also your choice. What you do, guys, based on the choices that you make will affect the rest of your life. But it starts now. You have to make a choice. The sooner you make a choice, the sooner you'll realize whether it was the right one or the wrong one. The sooner you realize it was the wrong one, then you can move on to the next one. But if you
Right.
don't play and you're staying in the goddamn bleachers, you only have to blame it yourself, and you're only going to create a vicious cycle and support people that understand that you don't want to make a choice. See, people in YouTube in particular profit off of the fact that you're scared to make a choice. You're scared what they're going to think of you. You're scared that the girls are not going to like you, etc. But you're not doing anything for yourself. You're really living for other people. And me being an older guy, I had to learn that, and it comes at a cost. You're losing family, friends, loved ones, etc. But for me, I wouldn't change it for the world because I finally feel at peace with the decisions that I make moving forward. So that's part of inner game, knowing the consequences and taking charge of your life as opposed to just dealing with the lemons that God gave you.
Right. No,
And
I like that.
that's a good point you brought up too, real quick too. About the inner game, you got to understand your inner game. So this is what I'm saying. Like a lot of you guys, for instance, who you got say you want to be a player and you aren't playing good. You don't have the girls, not whatever. Guess what? Everybody's not supposed to have a lot of girls, bro.
Facts.
You're trying to be a player,
Right.
but you supposed to have a girlfriend, bro. That's why you're not successful, bro. Because a player should look cool, but you're not really a player type of guy. It's just like me.
Right.
I'm a player type of guy, so it's hard for me to be in a relationship.
You
You see? It's hard. Now, technically, it's easy if I just say I want to be with a girl and she want to be with me and we make it official. That part's easy, but just the whole dynamics of now, when I want to go out of town, it's like I gotta consult with my girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, baby, I'm gonna do this and that, and then she can either be like, "Cool, babe," or she can
Give you an
say
attitude.
she'll have an attitude. So she may not like tell me I can't go. But then when I come back, it's repercussions. When I come back and get in the bed, she turned the other way and shit like
Right.
that. So,
The cold
but when I don't
shoulder.
have a relationship, we don't have those type of problems. You know what I'm saying?
More
When
freedom.
I'm in a relationship,
More freedom.
when I'm in a relationship, women is like, who is this in your who is this in your comments? When I'm not in a relationship, that's not going to happen. So that's the difference, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just like you. I think what you're saying though is like that you feel more free, and no one's like constantly checking up and like being suspicious. Like, what's this all about? But you tell you tell most of the ladies that you are. Before I think you told me one time. Correct me if I'm wrong. That that some girls have wanted relationships, and you mentioned something about the content that you create, and you're like, well, you may not like what you see. And they at first they tell you they accept it, but then when they see what you do and some of the content you talk about, they get all suspicious, right? Can you tell me about Can you tell me about that, Afi?
Yeah. Yeah. Women don't understand content. They don't understand that, we are producers and we produce shit. Sometimes we produce just like Jerry Springer. They'll have the fights and shit, but then they'll have finding the lost mothers and shit too. You think them be to getting the top ratings? No, they don't, but they still do it anyway because
Mm-hmm.
you got to feed different people and shit.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
think is important, what you said too, though, man. I think it's all about self-awareness, and that comes from inner game because Afi said it, man. He is a player type of cat because that is a decision that he chose to make because that's a decision, that's something that he wants to do. So as a result of that, he is, I guess, perfecting being who he wants to be. It's a choice, right? Inner game. But in order for you to know what works best for you, you have to have that develop that inner game. See, it's all about awareness. You guys would rather be aware and have game about people outside of yourself, namely women. So at the end of the day, he said something also very important. Not all of you are supposed to have a lot of women, bro. Not all of you are supposed to have threesomes. It's a lot of work. This player shit is a lot of headaches. Most of you guys can't handle. That's why you get sloppy, you get caught out there, etc. So if you know who you are and you know what you want and you go after it, you buy all the belts, right? You know what you want. You want to settle down. You want to start a family. You take it seriously. Be a man of your word. That's part of inner game too. Doing shit when you say you're gonna do it, do it. Go all in. You know what I mean? And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But at least you were true to yourself. A lot of you guys are living in fear because of the statistics and shit like that. You can't trust hoes. That's fine. But at the end of the day, depending on what you want to do and what you're good at or what you want to be good at, those are the choices. Those are the directions you need to take. But in order for you to know where you're going, you have to know who you are. That's inner game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you guys miss a lot of the messages that come out on the shows that we do, and because you're waiting for something that you heard that you can apply on a Friday night date. But at the end of the day, then the bitch ghosts you because she saw your avatar before. You guys think that you're fucking unique and shit. This red pill shit is blowing up. Everyone's saying the same goddamn thing. You're not unique. In order for you to be unique, you have to have self-awareness, and that comes from inner game.
Mm-hmm. No, and like I'd like
Jesus.
to add something to you too. Like when you're going out there, you are what you focus on. You're focusing
Precisely.
on your success and everything, becoming good at talking to women, focusing on growing your business. You're going to produce that in the real world. But if you keep focusing on all the negativity and stuff, you're not your results are going to be half-assed, or you're not going to produce any results because you're focusing too much on the negative side of things. And that's one thing I've always learned, like when I, kind of get into something, and this goes back to what I said about awareness earlier. When you have awareness of your negative thoughts, you got to say, well, hey man, if you really want this, you're going to go fucking change your attitude about it. Because having this mindset that you're not good enough, that you can't go out there and create this life for yourself, or you can't go out there and actually talk to women and have a lot of women in your life. If you have that, like you're not going to get anywhere. You got to focus differently, because you will get draw into your life what you focus on. That's why it's good to be very optimistic, and just believe that you can go out there and make it happen. When you go out there and have that power of belief, like even when you have setbacks, you're not going to give a fuck. You're just going to keep on pushing forward and everything. And that's just like what I've learned is the best way to kind of just move forward with my mindset and challenge myself to become a better person. Because I mean, I just, one thing I've always said is like, when I had this awareness too. Like, I'm like, the reason why I'm stuck is because I'm, doing this and that, and I have to crawl out of that and go out there and like have a better attitude and like challenge myself to be better every day. And that's how you fucking make shit happen for yourself.
Boom.
Another thing too, and this is for real shit too. Like, player is personality, bro.
Boom.
So I'm gonna unpack that a little bit. Like, for instance, okay, Michael B. Jordan. He's rich, he's famous, but he's not a player, bro.
Boom.
Russell Wilson is not a player.
Boom.
Now, the problem is people they connect player with how many options you have. No, if I'm Michael B. Jordan and I put on my stories and I'm in LA, and then badass Instagram thotties or movie stars hit me up in the DMs and shit. Well, I mean, that's my status that's doing that. Because if you take the status away, they're not gonna do that. A player is a player, whether he has money or not, bro. Just like if I could be a dope fiend, and if I'm a player, I'm gonna just have 3 dope fiend broads. You know what I'm saying? That's still in my batch though, but I'm still doing the same shit. The batch may change on what level you are in life, but the actions stay the same.
Right. Very important. That players thing, that they equate playerism or players with the amount of women or options they have. Drake is not a player, folks. You know what I'm saying? You could just tell. But if you know, right? And to the naked eye, you're probably not going to know that. But like Afi said, very important. Like gangsters or thugs, they know. They're like, okay, this guy's a poser or he's for real. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, equating things based on what society tells you is another strike. Because you're being measured by statistics and stats and things that don't apply to you. Part of the inner game is not living in fear, right? Conquering your fears. You guys are fearful of things that have not even happened to you. You guys are scared to get divorced. You don't even have a girlfriend. You're scared for a woman to take shit from you and shit. You don't even have $500 in your savings account. You're living in fear of probabilities, of what ifs. Guys who focus on their inner game aren't concerned about that. They understand that it's a possibility, but at the end of the day, if you have inner game, you're working on yourself, the decisions that you make have a higher chance of a success rate because they're calculated. I'm not allowing statistics to calculate the shit that might not work for me. I'm doing my due diligence to make sure that I have a higher probability of it working because I took my time. I did things that make me feel good and are in line with what I'm looking for. And that's the ultimate way to justify why inner game is more important. Do what works for you as opposed to what you hear is not working for everybody else.
The inner game work like this too. Just think of it like this. How many people are rich but are still broke? Make sense? Yeah. See? Statement.
Yeah,
that's
an
analogy right there.
Yeah, it's not what you make, it's how much you spend.
You can have everything on the outside and nothing in the inside. You feel me? You can have all the cars and shit like that in the house, but the bank account, you don't have the actual money because the money you put out to get the stuff, now you have nothing inside, but you have everything outside. You know?
And that's why it's important.
You can show everybody what you have, but you can't talk about who you are. You see?
Right, because you don't know yourself.
And that's the reason why a lot of people want the shit and the stuff, because they know they have nothing inside to show you. They know it. They know that they don't. So they say, well, I have to create something. So let me create these things to produce somewhat value for myself of what the out value is for what people see, what people perceive value to be. At least I can get that. I can disguise and mask that, the inside with the outside. That's just like if I got a fat stomach. Oh shit, it's popping. God damn it. I can see, I can have a big stomach, but if I put on a coat, I'm covering what's really there. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. No, that's true. Well, no, and that's why it's good to, like, have awareness of self and who you are and develop, yourself, because, like, when you can realize that you have a lot of good qualities to you and you go work on something for yourself, you're going to place a lot of that. You're going to realize that you're going to value more stuff within yourself rather than external things. And that's important to, like, know. And, like, once you can learn to figure out who you are and, grow yourself and focus on your goals, whatever it is you're doing, like, it's going to become confident, and, like, you're going to develop attractive traits that women like. And we talked about this on our show that we did a couple of weeks ago, Alpha Villains. I remember that we were talking about dating tips for 2023, and that we were talking about the importance of that, just being able to, like, have some stuff going on for you outside of, like, the dating world, rather than just think about sex all the time. And because when you can learn to, like, I believe when you can learn to kind of focus on yourself and find your strengths and, like, have the belief in yourself, no matter what the situation will be, you will just deal with it. You will go through it. But also, it's attractive quality too, because when you're out there socializing with women, you don't give a fuck what people think about you.
Boom. Precisely. Exactly. Yeah, man. Yeah, you guys are nailing it, hitting it home, man. Afi brought up a lot of really good points, man. But yeah, we were talking about this prior to Afi coming on as well, man. Again, at the end of the day, guys, I want to be very crystal clear on this. We want you guys to smash women. We want you guys to enjoy. We want you to reward yourself with trinkets, watches, take trips. If you can afford a Lambo, go for it, man. We're not standing in the way. But what we are saying is, before you do that, stop putting the cart before the horse, right? Was it the chicken or the egg? You have to focus on yourself first in order for you to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. A lot of you guys don't even know how to, you want to buy a Lamborghini and shit. You don't know how to drive the goddamn car. There's a lot of things that you guys are doing before the work. So at the end of the day, we talk about it a lot, man. And, eventually you guys will become men of certain ages, man. It's all about your inner game. It's all about your inner mindset. In order for you to achieve the things that you want, you have to have your innards or pardon me, your mindset solid and a foundation, so you can go ahead and achieve those things.
No, I like what you said. What would you say would be one inner game? I don't know, I should say, what's something you probably worked on with your inner self that has really helped you move ahead in life? This is the question for the both of you guys. I'm just kind of curious about that.
Meditation, prayer, and mastering confinement.
And how did that like help you, like, have awareness and build your inner game?
Because it gives you time to be able to organize, structure, and control your thoughts.
Right. No, it's a good one.
Yeah. For me, I don't want to steal Afi's thunder, but I agree with what he just said. But what I would say is, for me, what has helped me is really just not relying on anyone else's giving me a pat on my back. There are people in my life that there are times where, it would be nice to hear, hey, I'm proud of you, man. That was awesome. From somebody that I know, right? Somebody that I have history with. I get it more so from people that don't know me or people that support me. Right. So the minute I finally came to terms with that, people that I care about or I thought cared about me were not going to applaud my efforts, it really helped my focus and energy to put towards my inner game, because I got to be my own cheerleader. I got to be everything that I needed from my mama, my friends, colleagues, etc. And when I stopped getting angry, the fact that they weren't doing it, it forced me to become more confident, because you know what? I can look back at my stuff and say, damn, you know what? I'm proud of myself. And I do that a lot sometimes. Sometimes if I'm feeling down or I'm having a rough day, I'll look at my content, I'll listen to one of my shorts, and I'm like, wow, that was pretty fucking good. And then I start going down my own rabbit hole, right? Because I've created something that I can be proud of. So at the end of the day, you know, I stopped worrying and giving a fuck about people and the people that I thought cared about me. And I started putting all that focus into me, and it really changed my life. And now, you know, at this point, I don't necessarily need the accolades. But when I do get them from people, I appreciate it because I know that it's genuine and there's no malice when it comes when they're giving it to me.
Hey, let me say this, and I got to add this to my other book. I'm writing a book. So you want to be a content creator, and I'm gonna actually add this to it because I kind of forgot about this. Like, yeah, it's always gonna be more people supporting you from the outside than the inner circle. The annoying part though is this. Like, for instance, I'd rather the people ignore me then. You feel what I'm saying? It's like you don't care. If you don't care what I do, then that's fine. But why the fuck you want to follow me and keep up with my actions and shit in quiet? That's the
And not
annoying part.
support me, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Lurkers.
Like, fool, I got thousands of fucking followers, bro. I don't need your one follower now. We're past that point when I first started where I'm subscribing to myself from all my channels and shit. You feel what I'm saying? And YouTubers been there. They know that, you know. I got
Oh
5
my
channels,
God.
dummy channels. I'm gonna go
Let me
back,
get those
log
extra
in.
5, right?
Yeah,
He's
I'm at
real
2 now. I
active.
got
I
to
do
get
that
to
now. Let's
That's
go.
what's
10.
going on out
Yeah.
there.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, bro, I got thousands of fucking followers. So you following me ain't doing shit. That in your mind, in your little peon mind, you feel like that's enough for me to feel like you're supporting me. So when I get the fruits of my labor, I'm gonna say, oh yeah, you know, you has been down. You've been following me this whole time. Keyword, you've been following me this whole time, not helping me this whole time, not holding my hand this whole time, not inspiring me this whole time, only following me this whole time, bro.
Right. And
What you think you gonna get? I'm gonna buy you some Captain Crunch and a fucking Happy Meal, motherfucker.
Right. And just so you know, following is just basically so they're just nosy. It's like some of you guys have friends on Facebook. They're just friends so they can see what's going on in your life. It's not about saying, hey man, you know, I really like what you're doing. Nobody's and this, I guess all three of us, I'm sure we've all gone through this, man. It takes a lot of inner game for us to continue to do shit like this because again, there are going to be people, especially this level of content, they're not going to think we know what we're doing. They don't think that we're changing the world. They don't think that they're people that who don't support us, or at least they may not agree with us, but don't support our mission, are people who are just content with their life. They feel that they have one life and they're just going to try to maximize it in terms of just dealing with what they were given. Us, we're trying to change the narrative. We're trying to create legacies and shit like that. So at the end of the day, what you said was very important, Afi. You know, following and supporting are two different things. And I want you guys to understand, once you really take the pressure off of the people around you from supporting you and put that energy on yourself, man, you'll be better for it and you'll be able to enjoy what you're creating and know and be proud to say that I didn't have any help and I did this shit on my own. And you can go fuck yourself at that point. That's that moment.
It's weird. It's weird, bro, because people will put it to you like this, like they won't support what it is you're doing because maybe, let's say, they don't agree with it.
Right.
Okay. That's just like Rob saying he's shooting a movie and it's premiering at the Oakland Coliseum, but I'm gonna say I ain't watching it because I don't like horror movies. No, you support the person. You don't have to support the fucking thing, idiots. Well, actually, y'all not idiots. Y'all know that, but that y'all think y'all slick. How y'all move.
Right. Can't stand
you know, you don't have to. If AV not my friend because he like the Miami Dolphins and I like the like that don't even make no fucking sense, bro. We don't have to align. Everything doesn't have to align for you to just say you doing good. Like it don't matter. Like like if AV wants to start trading and shit, well I ain't down with trading, so I ain't fucking with him. Like no, that's still my friend. No, it doesn't matter his activities that he fucking does and shit.
Very important.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Let me say this real quick, Rob, because I know the clock is running real quick because Afi just sparked something. This is important. What Afi said was very important. It's about we don't all have to agree, right? Afi and I are really good friends, you know what I mean? But we don't always have to agree. You're not always going to agree with your tribe. You're not always going, but that's not going to take away from the relationship that's being built on a daily basis. Very important for you guys when you have inner game within yourself. You're putting in a lot of work in yourself. you're not afraid of your friends not agreeing with you, because I'm so confident in what I'm doing and I know what it is, that my inner game supersedes my friends not approving of the things that I do. There's a mutual respect there. And when you have somebody that understands the importance of inner game, putting in the work, there's another layer of respect that develops, because we know what we're dealing with and we don't really fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? Because we get it. You know what I mean? The three of us on this channel, we get it. We're like, yo, there's a level of respect there. And it's just like, man, at the end of the day, that's still my boy. Whatever. You know what I mean? Everybody got their own life, but I'm here. You know what I mean? That's the important thing. I'm here if you need me, but there's no question that if you need me, I'm gonna be there. And that's the difference.
Right. Rock on. Well said. Well, guys, do you have any final thoughts? I think you, Rob, gave a good final thought for the show. But Afi, do you have a final
Absolutely.
thought?
Final thoughts. I just give you guys 3-player tips. One, like I said, master confinement. That way, when you learn how to be by yourself, you won't be so goddamn thirsty and needy because you know how to be by yourself. That's the
Yeah,
first
be by
thing. The
yourself.
second thing is, the second thing is surround yourself with people that want to either A, do the same things that you want to do, or B, live the similar lifestyle that you want to live. That's also important.
Mm-hmm.
And C, start testing yourself. What I mean by testing yourself is all this information you get it, give yourself tests. See if you really know it. You don't know you know it until you can try it.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Well said.
So yeah, you learn you in class, but start taking the test of the information that
Right.
you think that you know.
Right.
Wow, well said. Yeah, and I'll have to start off by saying, yeah, definitely if you want to develop strong inner game, you actually, like I said, go out there and take the action. Like you're not gonna grow if you don't take any action in your life. And by doing it, even if you're afraid to do it, go out there and do it. That's how you're gonna grow, by conquering your fears and everything. So it's important to do that. And then secondly, I say like second takeaway, just like be more aware of like some of the negative thoughts and patterns that are keeping you from moving forward, so you can actually change those and have success. When you focus on creating positive thoughts and taking positive actions, you're going to create what it is you want in life. And though it might not happen right away, focus on learning from those experiences, because when you learn from those experiences, you will grow and then you eventually get what you want. So anyways, guys, thank you very much for coming out. It was a fun, kick-ass show, like always a great vibe and everything. And yeah, just very quickly let everyone know where they can find you, and then we'll
Guys,
call it a day.
appreciate you, man. Yo, check me out on make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel. Got morning show, Finish Your Breakfast with AV, weekday mornings, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm also on Instagram at Alpha Villains. Peace.
Rock on, Alfie. Oh,
Yeah, you guys subscribe to my channel. International AFI, Afi's the name, and follow me on Instagram, international.afi and afi.kingdom.books. And follow
rock
me on
on.
Amazon.
Rock.
Amazon.
Amazon,
Mhm.
yep. And then, hey guys, thanks for coming on the show. And everyone who saw this, be sure to like the video, and if you like it, share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We got a lot of do a lot of stuff on my own. I have a lot of great guests on the podcast and everything. Got a lot of great guests coming on next month, which I'm excited about. And yeah, definitely subscribe, and definitely if you're interested, you can go check out my website, commandyourconfidence.com. You can get my book there, and you can also, if you want interested in help with some coaching, I can help you with that, and you can just follow the link for that, and I'll put that in the description. So until next time, guys, rock on, and we will be back again to give you some more inner game tips and other shit that will help you level up in life.